So one of the fun things about what I get to do is I get to learn a lot about folks that I probably should have known a whole lot about to begin with. Does that make any sense? Yancey James is with Tejas Rodeos in Bulverde, Texas, every Saturday night. Yancey, from March until the end of November, as we're talking on Friday, November 14th. You got 3 Saturdays left. You're busy.
We are extremely busy. It grew, the demand, and and I'm glad I can be a part of it, and keep showing the Western lifestyle. So it's a pretty cool to be in my place right now and in my position down here outside of San Antonio. So it's pretty neat.
How long you been doing this?
We're 20 years. We've
Wow.
been producing rodeos here 20 years, and me and my partner Trey. I mean, we remember when there was 35 people in the stands, and now we've been sold out since 2020 every Saturday night. So it's with the waiting list, So it's great.
It looks like a cool place. You don't just have a rodeo; you have a restaurant, which I got to come down and have a steak down there sometime. It looks like it's absolutely delicious. Um, Tell me kind of what the experience is like for fans.
It's we call it a true taste of the Western lifestyle. A true taste of Texas, and what we found is it's similar to Fort Worth and North Side and Cowtown and some of that area, but we're down here in San Antonio, and a lot of people come to Texas, and they expect to see a rodeo. They expect to eat some barbecue and a good steak, and we provide that atmosphere and that entertainment. But when you walk in the gate, the front parking lot's usually pretty full, but you immediately walk into the neons of Tejas Rodeo and the old Western style. There's old wagons around. There's cedar arbors made out of posts, and we have a mechanical bull and an outdoor type dance floor, and then the smell of the barbecue. And so we sell a number of things, but we have a barbecue shack that we sell barbecue out of, and then you also have the steakhouse, which is, to me, it's a mini museum in itself. Once you walk in the doors of the steakhouse, it's covered in all authentic Western art, Western saddles, chaps. There's a pair of chaps in there over 100 years old. Everything's authentic. It's just a neat Western experience, And then, so as you're walking around, you're seeing all this, and we'll have a few vendors selling hats and T-shirts, and we have our own Tejas Rodeo Company store. And so that entertainment and the family atmosphere, family vibe, kids are running around, and then the rodeo starts, So it's pretty cool.
Culturally, you're in the right place. I was just thinking about. I love San Antonio. I haven't had a chance to go down to the San Antonio Stock Show for a couple of years now, but very first time I ever went to Texas, I went to San Antonio, and culturally, you are in the right spot. I
Right. Yeah. I agree. And we're close. You know what, we try to inhibit all the cultures, as you mentioned, the rodeo lifestyle, but also the Mexican style of it too. We're a big part of that. So we'll have some charros, do some demonstrations, some rope tricks, and we love it all.
Your audience, you say you're sold out every Saturday. Can you tell? Do you have regulars, or do you have a lot of first time fans? Do you? I'm imagining there are a lot of tourists, but I don't know. Tell me,
Yeah.
how much do you know about your crowd?
Yeah. Oh, we know a lot about it. That's what we do. And that's what makes us so unique. It is a clear mixture of both the tourist and the traditional people that are regulars. I mean, we have some regulars. They don't miss a Saturday night at Tejas. It's a big deal, and so they got their seats, they got their spots. And then it's amazing to me the amount of people that are here every Saturday night from Germany, England, France, Italy. I mean, you hear all these different languages as you just walk around the place, and it's a very unique experience. And like I said earlier, I'm happy to be able to share it and kind of keep the rodeo and the tradition alive,
Yeah.
and experience, and show that exposure. It's pretty
You
cool.
you work with Next Gen on the entries for your rodeo. How has Next Gen helped you?
All next gen's great for us, and I think it's really good for the contestants. I'm real familiar with it myself because I have kids at rodeo, and we use it a lot, to enter. But Next Gen, one thing I want to say, about Next Gen is I think their customer service is second to none. We had a Slack the other night that went to 2 a.m, and we didn't need to call him, but I guarantee I could call Zach at Next Gen. He's going to pick up the phone, and if we got a question, he's going to deal with it and fix it. So that part right there, to me, kind of being an older cowboy type guy, customer service sells it all. But it really works great for our system because contestants can pre-enter, they can pay with a credit card because that seems to be kind of where things are going these days. And they never have to walk up an announcer stand. They're paid, they're signed up, and then it has all these live features. They can look at it, they know when they're out. I'm going to be the fourth tie down calf roper in the perf, and I need to be there. And everybody kind of knows Tejas and down this area, the contestants, we know that's going to be about 8:15. You're going to rope. So roll in here and get it done, so that it has so many good features like that I think once, and people have learned to adapt, everything's learning and changing. I'm guilty. I'm one of those guys that do not like change. So it's kind of hard for me initially getting into it, but the ladies up in the office and they love it. And the contestants that are using it have really grown to like the app. So it's been pretty good.
Yeah, I'm one of those old guys too. I understand where you're coming, but things seem to be. The people I talk to all say, this has just made our lives so much easier, and that's a good thing because you've got a lot going on. I mean, you've got several different things you have to manage at one time every Saturday, I'm imagining.
Oh yeah, there's so many. I had a lady out there the other night, and I was like, "What do you think about the rodeo?" And she was looking at some other things that works for. She goes, "I barely got to see it. There's so many moving parts here at Tejas." And I said, "Yeah, but it does. It really helps. The Next Gen helps those ladies. I mean, it calculates the payout. It does prints the checks. It keeps our point systems for our year end. There's so many features on the back end that I don't even think we've gotten into. We've been using it a few years now, and like I say, I cannot go on and on about the customer service. And I think their customer service too. I'm not trying to sell Next Gen, right? I don't work for them or anything like that. I'm just saying the positives. But as a contestant, all you got to do is pick up the phone and they're there. If you're having an issue or you don't understand, that's pretty neat to have.
Tell me about your rodeo. Do you own the stock? Is that how do you tell me about the production of your rodeo?
Some of it we own and some we outsource. And so we sit on 71 acres. And like I say, when I say we have a lot of moving parts, we built a wedding venue at the back of the ranch that we probably have. Well, we have over 100 plus weddings there a year. So there's so much going on, but we have a lot of our bulls and our bucking horses we have hauled in. We keep a small herd of bulls here on site that are ours, but a lot of it comes in. Cody Haynes helps us bring the bulls, and he's been providing bulls for generations, and his father, and then Big Garza. And I think a lot of them horses come from Sammy Andrews. So some of the bucking stock gets hauled in, like when we own some of our own.
So I want to ask you about the next 3 weeks as we're talking on Friday, November 14th. You've got November 15th, 22nd, and Thanksgiving Saturday, the 29th. 3 nights left this year on your series. Is there anything special, unique, especially about the Thanksgiving rodeo? And then I want to ask you about what you're doing in December.
Yeah. You know what? Nothing more special than what we normally do. I will say, we incorporated it when we first started in 2006 was our first rodeo. We didn't quite go this far, and we tried to stay away from Thanksgiving, and then we threw it in there, and it is probably our busiest rodeo. I'm going to say that rodeo is going to be sold out 2 weeks prior. So if you want a ticket to that rodeo, you better get it. But everybody's in town. They're seeing family, and especially the locals that live here. They want to bring their family, and this is where they want to be. So it's going to be a packed house. I know without a doubt for that last rodeo and Thanksgiving weekend. And we do a number of things. We have a big calf rope in that Friday night, the Cody Lawrence Memorial. So that's a huge rope, and that rope going to go on 15 hours throughout the day. Wow. On Friday. Yeah, it's a big deal, Cody Lawrence Memorial. And a lot of those tough guys will be here, and they'll stay overnight, and then they'll compete on the Saturday night rodeo. So that's the Friday and then the Saturday. But
tell me about Cody Lawrence, Yancey.
Yeah, Cody Lawrence was a up and coming superstar, in the calf roping world. And he lived down here in South Texas, and he got in a car accident. And he actually won our series one year. So we crown a champion at the end of the year. We roughly 40 rodeos a year. and it's a tough feat. I mean, it's something you got to be devoted. You got to be dedicated. I see people here. There's all type. When I talk about the contestants, you never know. Haley Kinsel was here the other day, in the barrel race. So these people come passing through all the time, and so it gets tough. It gets wicked, and we always giggle. Charmaine James held the arena record for years, and it's finally been beaten in the barrel race. I'm just using it as a barrel race. I think there was one night in the team roping in the perf, we run 10 in the perf, and every single header or heeler had been to NFR at least some point in time in their life. But the competition, I might have got lost on my track, but it's fun, it's entertaining. 40 rodeos, and we crown a champion at the end of it. So
you might just as well make it 52 weeks a year if you're already going 40.
I know. I'm telling you, if once my partner hears this, because he's pushing for it, and I've been the one dragging my feet. We call it, and we even have a T-shirt that we sell that says 9 months of rodeo and 3 months of rehab, because we need a little break, to regroup.
I understand. What are you doing on December the 20th for the second year? You've got an event, a special event right before Christmas.
Yes, we call it our Christmas rodeo, and really we did it out of demand. The phone just keeps ringing off the wall of spectators wanting to come, and contestants looking for somewhere to go in the winter down here in South Texas. So we produce a Christmas rodeo, as we call it, and we'll have Santa Claus here, and there'll be scheduled pictures where the kids can come take their pictures with Santa Claus, and some games for the kids. It's Christmas oriented. And we'll have the place lit up like Christmas. And we produce a rodeo.
Yancey, this sounds like a massive amount of fun.
Yeah, I believe it is. What I hear from the spectators is, if I've heard this once, I've heard it 1,000 times. I'll walk through the crowd because I want to hear what they're saying. And when I do, I just try to be another person, right? I don't try to be the face of Tejas or anything. And I hear them say, hey, this is the best kept secret. I'm not telling anybody. I don't want anybody else to come. I don't want them to change. I don't want them to put the cement down and do these things. I hear that all the time. Best kept secret.
If you're selling out 40 Saturday nights a year, it's not a secret anymore.
No, that's very true. Very true. Very true.
So go to the website is tejasrodeo.com, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And folks can get tickets and come join you for one of the last 3 events of the year, or find out more about the steakhouse and everything else that you guys do right there, huh?
Yes, sir. Yeah. And I advise, getting your reservation, especially the steakhouse, because it only seat, roughly 70 people at one time, and you turn it 4 or 5 times in a night. And so if you want to eat in that steakhouse, you need reservations a week out, and the rodeo at least a week out to get in. We want everybody to come. I wish, we're expanding a little bit. We're going to add about 300 more seats in our off-season time, as we call it, and then we may be maxed out, on seating. So,
got it.
Pretty cool.
You can find all the entry information on the Next Gen Rodeo app. You can get tickets and more. Tejas Rodeo, TEJAS Rodeo.com. Yancey, I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Steve. We appreciate you guys.